We're the Wild Center, this is Lunchtime Live. We're talking about nature and exciting wildlife. Encounters with otters and owls too, from Tupper Lake right to you. Learn about the plants and trees, there's so much to explore and see. Lunchtime Live, it's time to start the show. From the Wild Center, here we go.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Lunchtime Live. My name is Leanne. I'm one of the naturalists at the Wild Center, and today we are off-site at Sumner Brook. Sumner Brook is a short brook that is in Bloomingdale, New York. It actually runs from behind me, this direction, past us, going this direction, and it comes from Bloomingdale Bog, so it does run a little bit through the Bloomingdale Bog, under Oregon Plains Road, here past this where we're standing right now, underneath Route 3, and it dumps into the Saranac River close to Moose Pond. The Saranac River being quite a bit larger river running through Saranac Lake, and it makes its way to Lake Champlain. So it's funny to think about all these different river systems and brooks and how they all tie together. So Sumner Brook, starting way back in Bloomingdale Bog, is actually fed by several other brooks. The Fay Brook, Two Bridges Brook, and then there's another one a little bit farther beyond. Those are smaller brooks, and typically you're going from smaller bodies of water to larger bodies of water, eventually to the sea. That is where this water is going to land. So right now, the water beside me is going to make its way to Lake Champlain and beyond. It's going to take a few days. It's not happening overnight, but the water will eventually make its way there, joining to larger and larger streams. Right now, you might not see much of the water that's moving, but I do promise you it is moving underneath this icy layer that we have all over top of this brook bed. Because this is a relatively slow moving body of water, it tends to freeze over, but you can never fully trust that on a river. Rivers, because there's moving water underneath, tend to not freeze as solid as a lake does, which is sitting much more still. That moving action of the water can erode the ice, make it harder for it to form. So don't fully trust a river to walk across it. Some are better than others. This is a relatively slow moving one. You can see maybe here, let's turn, that deer will still use edges of the river. You see a little deer path here to move when it's a little bit more solid, but I'm a skeptic of the ice. So Sumner Brook, even though it's relatively small in the scheme of rivers goes, it is stocked with brook trout annually by the DEC, so it can be a nice little fishing spot. There's a great coarse woody debris, so that means down trees in the water, which create good habitat for the fish to hide out in. And in places it's relatively fast moving, where you'll find some small rapids, nothing large, but small rapids which help to oxygenate the water, which is really good for brook trout. Brook trout rely on really heavily oxygenated and cool water, which is why this can be a good spot to find them. So if you like to fish, come on out here. Usually don't see a lot of people down in Sumner Brook, so a nice spot to get away and enjoy the water. While we're out here on this beautiful winter day, sun is shining, albeit a little bit breezy and chilly, I thought it'd be a nice opportunity to just sit by the river, enjoy the beautiful Adirondack scenery, including the balsam and spruce trees, the speckled alder that are nearby. And I'm gonna move us to a better location where I actually just saw some nice open parts of the water, so we can take a nice look at that. But who doesn't need a good break to enjoy the Adirondacks once in a while? Here we go, let's go check it out. Partway down Sumner Brook, and we're making our way towards Moose Pond. Let's just take a moment and enjoy this space. That was pretty nice, wasn't it? Just a peaceful moment to look at the snow and the water moving. This brook is accessible. There's a little bridge right across Oregon Plains Road, and there's a pull-off spot right at the beginning of Oregon Plains Road coming from Bloomingdale where you can pull over. And if you have a kayak or a canoe, this is a great little body of water to paddle to the Saranac River. There's also a pull-out where it meets the right about where it meets the Saranac River. So I encourage in the summertime when things warm up a little bit here, grab your boat, come on down and enjoy Sumner Brook. It's a nice, not well-traveled spot, so you're not going to see a ton of people, which is one of the nice things about this location here in the Adirondacks. Thank you, everybody, for coming with me on another adventure with Lunchtime Live. I hope you all enjoy the day and get yourself out in the sunshine if it's shining wherever you are. And we look forward to seeing you again here soon in the future. Bye, everyone.